tuning in one more of our episode here at Five Star Realty Podcast. This is Camila from MCN Marketing Firm, and today I have the honor and the privilege to interview Dan, well known as Big D. Dan, welcome.
Appreciate the invite.
He drove 4 hours, all the
Yeah.
way from New Jersey to come here to his studio. He's a keynote speaker, business coach, and podcaster. So happy to have you here.
Appreciate the
And
invite.
would love to start by bringing us back to that young Dan, childhood. Let's talk about right off the bat. How was your childhood like? Where were you born? Where were you raised?
So, childhood was, I would say, below average. I grew up with parents who worked hard to, I would say, provide what they could, but definitely had limiting beliefs. I grew up in Elizabeth, New Jersey. That's where I was born. I was in Elizabeth till I was 14. We lived in an apartment till I was 14. Then we moved to the suburbs. When we moved to the suburbs, we moved into a three-bedroom house, but the deal was my grandparents and my uncle moved in too, so we kind of still lived in an apartment. Still had those tight living situations. And again, like that's nothing wrong with why we did it. I guess that's the only way my parents could do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I just remember when I was young, living in a place where, school was coming up and you were able to pick out 5 T-shirts and 2 pairs of jeans for the whole year. And, you had to make sure you didn't wear the same shirt every Monday because then you'd be considered, not being able to switch things out. So you had to patternize your clothes. And, one pair of sneakers had to last the whole year. By the end of the year, they had holes in them. And that was just kind of the way that we were accustomed to living. But when we moved to the suburbs, I started seeing kids who had multiple pairs of shoes, different outfits that you never seen them wear, basketball courts in their backyard, pools in their backyard, like all this stuff. And I'm like, man, this is like a different perspective. And I remember when I was young, we passed some wealthy neighborhood. And, as we're driving through the wealthy neighborhood, my dad goes, those are rich people. And I go, wow, that's amazing. He goes, but we'll never be rich. And the focus on that was that right then and there, I knew that my dad, number one, didn't believe in himself. And my dad set a limitation for himself. And at 15 years old, I wasn't going to allow myself to set that limitation for myself. I wasn't going to allow myself to be like, okay, this is the standard that we have to live by. And I'm going to continue to have these patterns through my life and whatever children I bring into this world.
So you were 15.
15.
Okay.
Yeah. So at 16 years old, I read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. At 16 years old, I read the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. By the time I was done with both of those books, I knew that I didn't have to listen to my dad no more. And I think one of the biggest problems in this world is that, we love our parents and we tend to love their opinion, but we don't realize how bad their opinions are sometimes. And not that they're bad people, they just don't know beyond what they know.
Right.
And if you want to do things at a higher level, your parents can't teach you unless they've been there. So I knew at that point moving forward, I was going to have to go out there and do different things, experience different things. And I became a business owner at 17.
My goodness.
Straight out of high school.
First time I hear that. Wow.
Yeah.
At 17.
Yep.
Was there any childhood trauma? Entrepreneurs will wear invisible scars, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those are the things that they don't get told. Nobody sees them. Only people see the success you bring in with you now, but they don't see the fighter that you were. Was there any trauma in your childhood that maybe influenced until you realize I do not have to hear my dad anymore?
So I didn't really realize my trauma until later on in life. But what I'll tell you is that no matter what happens in your life, you're going to have that fight or flight mode and you're going to go through so many things and you're going to go through so much adversity, especially when you become successful. And everybody looks at, like you said, the outside world. They look at the outside picture, but they don't know about the inside and all the things that you go through. But, I grew up coming to realize later on in life that, my dad was a drug addict. My dad was an alcoholic in and out of rehab. And I didn't know that until way later on in life. Because my brother actually went into addiction too. And, just things started to trigger. And I started remembering things as I was a kid, like the NA logo, Narcotics Anonymous logo. I didn't know what that was until my brother was in Narcotics Anonymous. So just seeing all this stuff, brought a lot of stuff back in my life. And I just remember that my mom's brother, my uncle, Um, he was someone I was he was my godfather, someone I was super close with. And like, he believed in me. He always encouraged me. And every time I went after something, he was always like supporting me. He passed away. I was probably like 20 years old, but I remember, at his deathbed, he's like, whatever you do, don't ever give up. And my parents never said that to me. No one ever has said that to me. But when I look at trauma, like, so when you live in a world of things that start to happen and things that you participate in, you don't really know if it's trauma or not because you kind of think that that's normal.
Yeah.
Like I saw my parents fighting, I saw everything going on. And, I didn't realize that life could be so much better until I put myself in a place to start surrounding myself with better people. And then I started like just going back, like, wow, there's actually scars there that I didn't know. I didn't know I was hurt. I didn't know things went on. But I never used it as something that like paralyzed me or hurt me or tore me. And I didn't even use it as motivation. I just knew I didn't want to be those people. I wanted to do something else. So I just kind of like left it behind me. I'm very like emotionally detached. Like I don't like emotionally attached to anything. People pass away, people don't like me, people this, people that. Like at the end of the day, I have no emotion towards it because at the end, I'm just going to grow the way I'm going to grow. And if you're coming with me, you're coming with me. If not, I'm not attached to you. That's just the way I've always been.
Do your parents had any like religion beliefs or had anything in particular, like culture wise?
Like my mom, I went to Catholic school as a kid, probably till, I don't know, 6th grade maybe. And I just think it was like something that you did. My mom's was raised Catholic. My mom's still a Catholic today. I was raised Catholic. And, I just think, again, like these are generational traits that are passed down. I stopped practicing, everything in the Catholic Church. And then I came back to Christ in 2007. I became a Christian. But it was all through things that I went through in my life. And again, like I think a lot of things in our life, Catholic school, CCD, all this stuff, like we do it because we're told we're supposed to do it. Most people don't do things because they want to do it, right? So you don't really learn anything. You don't experience anything. You just do it because it's your culture.
Right.
So becoming a Christian later on in life, when I was like 25 years old, was different because now I was practicing something I wanted to understand, something I wanted to be a part of, something I wanted to connect with. And so many people are disconnected because these are patterns. Like they have to go to church on Christmas. They have to go to church on Easter, but those are the only days they show up. Why? Because this is the way that we were raised, right? So when you have these conditional things that you bring up and these generational things that you do, like there really serves no purpose because there's no value there. It's just something that we're supposed to do, but we don't know why we do it. So, I was raised a Catholic, but, I don't think I've ever participated in understanding who Jesus was or God was until way later on in life.
So at 16, you started reading these books that it started like shaping your mentality.
Yeah.
At 17, you made the decision, I am not listening to my dad anymore.
Yeah.
And at 25, you had a closer relationship with spirituality with God.
Yeah.
What happened between the 17 years old and 25? That gap, what were you doing?
Oh, so that's my first journey of success and failure. So 17 years old, I started chasing money, right? So I wanted to be rich. My dad said we would never be rich. We're not rich people, so I want to chase rich. What do we think rich is? We think rich is the cars. We think rich is the houses. We think rich is all the stuff, right? So I was literally talking to a guy on the phone today. He's like, hey, man, I saw one of your videos and you were talking about how like we chase these material things and we always chase them. And I go, yeah, man, that's like way back from the early stages of when I started. And what I can tell you is that I chased money. I thought like MTV Cribs. Remember that show? MTV Cribs?
MTV, yeah.
Right? So I thought that was like the reality of what life was. The nice car, the nice house. But from 17 to 24, chasing money, I went bankrupt at 24. The economy crashed. Business was slowing down. I made millions of dollars. Now it was all gone.
You were doing millions of dollars doing what?
Construction.
Construction.
Yeah.
Okay. So you were running
my own company from 17 to 24.
My goodness.
Overnight, everything crashed.
In New York, New Jersey area.
New Jersey, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What kind of services? I'm just curious.
So we started off with like renovation work, and then we worked our way into additions, and then we started building houses when I was 21. We were building houses. So I think, within that time frame, I made like close to almost $3.8 million, in that time frame profit. And then 2006 came and everything was over.
All of this because you started reading books. and changing your mentality.
But here's the problem. I chased money. I thought rich. I thought go after it. And I thought that those 2 books were going to be my guidance. So almost like today's day and age, everyone thinks that they can watch a YouTube video, they can watch an Instagram reel, and they're going to be able to be successful because of they're watching this little clip. So everyone always asks me, they go, like, what was your major turning point or what was your biggest regret during that time? And my biggest regret was I didn't ask for help. And I think as human beings, like we have such big egos and so much pride that we don't want to ask for help doing anything. And now today I'm such a servant. I help everybody. I make sure everyone's successful. I make sure everyone, is on the right path. But one thing I didn't do for myself was ask for help. And if I would have had help, someone teach me the value of money, the principles of money, how to use money and not love money and all these different things, I probably wouldn't have been in a position that I was back then.
And I'm assuming that at 25, when you went bankrupt, right? Correct. Yeah. How were you able to rise back up? What helped you, or who helped you?
Nobody.
So
I lost everything, and what I'll tell you is, if you did it once, you could do it again, right? 100%. So it's like going to the gym. People talk about muscle memory. So if you stop working out for a year and you go back to the gym, your muscles have memories that knows what's to come back. But I already knew how to make money. I just didn't know how to respect it. So I knew that making money wasn't going to be a problem. I can figure it out, but now I had to go out there and respect the money. But instead of chasing money and instead of chasing dollars, what was my purpose? What was my passion? How do I attach purpose and passion to what I'm doing and make money secondary in my life? And that's what I did.
When you were in this rebuilding phase, Dan, what was the very most uncomfortable move you had to do? Okay, you were going through bankruptcy. You understood that, okay, I'm in my lowest point now, back again. What was something uncomfortable that you had to do?
Well, number one, when you hit rock bottom, you can't go any further, right? You're at the bottom. But I think the most uncomfortable thing was just not being able to do things. Good thing my kids were young and they didn't know that they weren't eating expensive food. They were eating cheap food. We had to transition the way that we were living. And I think the most uncomfortable thing was like putting my pride in my back pocket and humbling myself enough to know, like, hey, like, you're starting over, bro. Like, it's okay. And there's laws in place and there's things in place for you to be able to get past all this, but you got to bring yourself back to the beginning. Whatever you've done before, ego, everything's got to go away. And you got to put yourself in front of it and know that you have to take charge of your family and do what you have to do. So I think the hardest thing was just like seeing my kids every day, just not knowing, like uncertainty of what was next and what was going to happen. And I just went after it and built another company over the course of the next couple of years, made a whole bunch of money, and but had values attached to it and was able to survive and get rid of that company. And then something else bad happens, so it's like, it's the domino effect where it's like, you knock down and you turn a corner, and just things just keep going.
When do you turn to be a business coach? Because the word coach, it has a lot of responsibility behind, right? Like you said, you have to put the ego in your pocket. You have to put all this nonsense of beliefs that we carry from our parents in order to be able to have 10 people, 20 people, hundreds of people coaching them, right? So how do you find out I'm a business coach? I can teach this. I can help. I can guide.
Well, I think the word coach is thrown around so freely. Everyone thinks they're a coach. Everyone's an influencer. Everyone's selling a program.
Mentor.
Yeah, everything. But the problem is like, people put certified in front of that. Certified coach. Right? Oh, because you got certified, because you went through a program, because you went to school, you're certified. I'm certified. I went bankrupt twice, built 3 companies and sold them, got robbed for $500,000, had a heart attack. Like, what other proof is there to show you that it still exists
that is
and
legit.
You can still go after it, right? So, like, I've been through it. Most coaches out there haven't been through it. They're Bible studiers, right? They studied a book and they preached a book. And that's all they do. They don't have true success. So when a real problem arises or a real situation, they don't know how to deal with it. They have to go to the textbook. So I can call myself a coach because I know that I've been through it. But when I had my heart attack in 2022, I realized that, like, I was already good at building businesses, and I'm not on this earth anymore to build businesses. I need to show people how to live their full potential. I need to show people how they can excel become successful in every area of their life. Because if I just do it for me and I keep building all these companies, like, what am I really doing? What legacy am I leaving? But if I can show other people how to be their best self, I know that I could be good at that. And that's where the transition came from.
What does a mentee needs to have in order to be in your program?
Number one,
what's the mindset?
Discipline. You have to be disciplined enough and coachable enough to work with me. You have to be able to take constructive criticism. So I literally had a guy text me that's, one of my clients before the show. And he's going through so much stuff right now personally. And, life's hitting him in the back of the head. And I go, these are the best times, man. These are the times that you grow. And you got to be willing to go through all the crap. Nobody wants to go through the crap. Everybody wants to see the view at the top of the mountain, but nobody wants to climb. But I tell my people, listen, I'm going to work with you. I'm going to climb with you. And I think the difference between me and most other coaches out there, other coaches have a team. So you're going to work with X, Y, and Z, and you might connect with me once in a while. I don't do that. I work directly with my clients. I had calls on the way up here. I work directly with people one-on-one. You're not working with a team member. You're not going into a group. There's no organizational, connection here. It's one-on-one, and I'm invested in you as much as you're invested in this. And as long as you're willing to go where you need to go, I'm going to get you there. So you just got to have discipline, commitment, and a hunger. Like most people, like a lot of people get involved. They go, I just need to make more money. I go, I can't work with you. Go get a job.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's not about money. It's not about money. I have to make you better. And it's going to take a lot more than money to make you better. Once you're better, you'll be able to grow better. Like there's a place in this world where people don't understand, like you'll never be able to hit certain levels of success until you've grown into the person who can actually maintain it and handle it. Yeah, you may make a bunch of money, but you're going to lose it because you're not a respecter of that status yet. So I have to help you elevate to the status that you want to achieve and then get you there. But everyone thinks it's like, oh, I just want to chase money. You'll chase it forever.
And I think that's a lot of the fault comes from social media, right?
Yeah.
People seeing the cars, like you said, the chain, the gold,
Yeah.
the clubbing, and they don't understand that in order to be successful, you must be humble, right? You teach the beauty of saying no. What was one of the times
Guess you saw my podcast.
I got to do a little study here. What was one good moment that you saying no to somebody, to a deal, or to an entrepreneur saved your life or your career?
There's been many. So many people have come up to me, offered me opportunities, and I say no. Number one, if it doesn't feel right, don't do it. Number two, we have to learn how to move without emotion. Everyone does things with emotion. They make decisions on emotion.
Yeah.
They break on emotion. So everything that happens emotionally. So I've learned to like inspect what I expect on things. But there's in situations where, even in business, people present things to me and I have to say no. There's never been one specific, but I think every single situation has grown, and even things that I've known I should have said no to and I said yes to, I went back and like, you always go with your first instinct. You know that you're not supposed to do it, but sometimes we want to do it because we feel like it's the cheat code, and there's a faster way. I mean, I've gotten beat for 75,000. I've gotten beat for 500,000. I've gotten beat so many times, but this is the process that we go through as entrepreneurs, the wins, the losses, the positives, the negatives, and things you have to go through. So now I'm very self-aware of who I work with, and I ask deep questions. So who do I say no to now? So if you want to work with me directly, I'm going to send you like 10 to 15 questions about you personally, about your business, and about your goals. If you're giving me short answers, yes, no, I'm not even talking to you. If you don't put any thought into your answers, I'm probably not going to work with you. But it's the people who literally, I give them a 10-word question, they're giving me a paragraph. Those are people I want to work with because they're taking time, they're thinking about what they want to do, how they want to change, and they're investing right then in themselves to show me the real change of what they want to become. So I say no to people who are short on their dream, like short answered. and just want the next win, because I'm not going to be able to help you long term, and you're probably not going to be as coachable as I need you to be. I need people who are like suffering in a place where they want to change.
I love that. And not many people think that way. They think the
Everyone
easy
wants
way.
to take everyone's money.
They just want to go quick. They just want to, how can I jump here just to get the $10,000 and the next million? What's a non-negotiable? I love this. I love this because this is so raw, so authentic, you know, and just seeing you, how successful you are and how influenced you are in social media, and just knowing, hey, you have to change this and this first before you can do anything else in life. What's a non-negotiable habit that will keep your mentality bulletproof?
For me personally?
Yes.
Well, I know why I do everything, right? I know what I'm leaving. I have core values. So I think everything has to roll and fall into my core values and what I do. And my biggest core value is my fifth core value, my fifth one. It's a high IQ. And I call that the high I quit level. Like your I quit level has to be way higher than any adversity you're ever going to go through. And most people don't understand, like, if you want to try something, you're never going to succeed at it. So I don't work on anything or with anyone or do anything in life to try it. It's like, I'm going to try to go on a diet. I'm going to try to go to the gym. You're probably not going to be successful. But if you say, I'm going to do it, and you have a non-negotiable that you're going to make it happen, you're going to make it happen. So every single thing I participate in, I make sure I give it my all, because so many people out there in this world call themselves an entrepreneur. And I guarantee like 95% of them aren't. They're entrepreneurs. Yeah, the school teacher who has their real estate license, they're an entrepreneur. Why? You sold one house in 2 years. You're not an entrepreneur. You want to be an entrepreneur, but you're not willing to do what it takes. You're allowing the security of your job to keep you where you need to be, and hopefully you get a big sale one day to have a big woohoo, right? So it's the people who go all in and take their risk and go all in. Just like my team that work with me, from my camera guy to my assistant to the guys who help me build all of my coaching programs. We're all in it together. We all make a piece of the pie. There's no like, you're getting paid this much, you're getting paid this much. Listen, whatever the company brings in, we all get paid. That means we all have to put in. And if someone's not putting in, then we have to figure who it is and get rid of them and get somebody else to go in there, because we're working on the same goal and the same mission. So I do the same thing with people I work with as people that work with me, and I create a union. I don't ever have employees, and I don't call people like, oh, that's the person that I work with, or that's a student of mine. Like, it's my partners, or it's my client, but soon to be, you know, someone who's going to graduate to be someone who's sharing a stage with me, or whatever it is. Like, always want to elevate people, but never feel them, you know, as they're little.
You're not about theory.
No.
You're about results.
Yeah.
What would be an excuse? What would be something that an entrepreneur can excuse themselves from this week so they can create momentum?
Ask me that again.
So you're about results. You're not about theory. What's something you can advise to an entrepreneur that is watching this episode right now, or that will be watching this episode, from excusing themselves this week so that they can actually create momentum?
Well, number one, there's never a right time. Number two, we allow excuses to be our reason why we shouldn't versus the reasons why we should. So, for example, I don't have the money right now. I'm not in a position right now. It's not a good time right now. My family's tied up right now. My wife's about to have a baby right now. Listen, there's never going to be a good time. If you want to do something, you need to execute. People who've been successful in this world have executed at all times in their life, even the times that they didn't want to. But if you want to create a story about why you can't do it now, that just means it's not important enough. You know, so what I tell people is, like, I have 3 kids. If my kids were hanging off of a building, like, nothing is going to be more important than me saving them, right? But everyone that I know that has kids goes, oh yeah, I do it all for my kids. I go, really? So if I were to sit you and your kids around your dinner table, how many things have you promised your kids but you haven't delivered? Because the time wasn't right, because you didn't have the money, because maybe you didn't feel like doing it. Like, what example are you setting? So, like, you really have to figure out why you're doing what you're doing. And if the why is big enough, the how-to is easy. But if the why is not big enough, every single obstacle will detour you for the rest of your life.
I love the why.
Yeah.
Because the why goes in anything we do. As a social media, as a branding specialist, we have to ask our clients why you want to create this brand,
Mhm.
and it goes in everything we do in life. You mentioned you have 3 kids.
Mhm.
Oh, beautiful. What has been something that your kids have teach you that the world wouldn't have?
So my daughter taught me like the power of love, right?
Oh,
So she's my
so
youngest.
beautiful.
She's my youngest, and I had 2 boys, and I always wanted boys. Um, and I ended up having my third as a girl, and my boys are like my homies, right? We're cool, but my daughter taught me a different love, like just a different connection and a different value, and made me look at life so much differently, and made me watch things I do versus if I had all boys, like I wouldn't care, right? So my kids teach me all different things. Like my oldest son, he's so responsible. He's almost 21. He showed
What?
he's
You
almost
have a 21-year-old?
almost, yeah.
You
Uh,
look young, Dan.
I'll be 44 soon, probably by the time this episode comes out.
Wow.
So, um, he teaches me like resilience, respect, and grit. Like he is going after it, and he'll do something until it gets done. Even if he doesn't know how to do it, he'll figure it out. My middle son is like competitive in a way where, you know, if someone's better than him, he wants to figure out how to be better than them, and he doesn't want to take second as the best.
Oh, wow.
And then my daughter is just super, super confident. So if you've ever met my daughter, everyone says like she's got the biggest smile on her face. She's so nice, and she's just very confident in who she is. She'll walk up to anybody and have a conversation, and she's just like a super amazing human being. And every single person who ever has talked to me about any of my kids have never had anything bad to say. And I think it's just because I didn't spoon feed my kids. I didn't give my kids things that they wanted. I gave them things that they need. My kids to this day have never had a video game from me, ever, ever.
Goodness.
They're not allowed to play video games. They're not allowed in my house because at the end of the day, that's the devil telling you you don't have to go out there and participate in the world. My kids have had dirt bikes, have quads, have jet skis, have been out in the world, but we do things together, have fun together, make memories together because I don't want them sitting in their room for 8 hours with headphones on, talking to the other kids. That's no life for them.
Disconnected, yeah.
So as my kids grew up, my boys, they were like, so-and-so have this. I go, that's cool. Well, you're not getting it. If you want to do that, you can go to so-and-so's house. But where did all their friends want to come to our house? Because we had the cool toys, not the video games, right? So I just taught them values and morals of being a person who actually is participating in the world, not closing themselves out from the
What age you find out you were going to be a dad?
21.
21. Oh, beautiful. And you're 44?
I'll be 44. I'm 43 now.
Oh, we should say happy birthday, Big Dan.
November 20th, whenever this comes out.
Listen, people, this gentleman right here, he is very intimidating, let me tell you. Good looking guy, very smart. But let's take all the titles away, okay? The keynote speaker, the business coach. Who is Dan at his own core?
I'm just a super humble guy that comes from humble beginnings and realizes that it's not about me. I really try to serve people. I try to become a servant to everyone I know. I try to help everyone, inspire everyone, and encourage everyone to be their best. And here's why. I remember vividly, like as if I were a kid. And I remember as a kid, like we had a high tolerance to whatever we wanted, we were going to get. And if people told us no, we still went after it, right? So I believe that the childlike mentality should live in every single person. And whatever your heart desires, you go after it until you get it. So for me, whatever I can do to help someone, encourage them, give them free value, help them, get to the next step, I'm there. It's not about the money. Money always comes, it always works its way. But if you think about me, I'm a fun-loving guy. I'm serious. I always have a serious face on because, like, I don't let everybody into my world. I want to know you first before you're in my world. If not, business is business, and you stay on the outside. That's it.
Absolutely. Dan, unfortunately, time is cutting short for this episode. But is there any big event coming up that you might want to announce, or a couple of the events until the year end?
We have an event next Thursday. Not sure if this will be out by then. Probably not. November 6th, I have Bedros Keuilian. We're doing a big event in New Jersey.
Blueprint.
The 7-figure blueprint. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to be teaching people how to scale their businesses, grow their businesses, optimize their businesses. So wherever your business is right now, you'll 3x your business. And then I have in 2026, I have a mastermind that I'm hosting. It'll be for the entire year 2026. We'll get together 4 times live in New Jersey. And I'll have a mastermind in Florida because I live in Florida and Jersey,
You're
both
everywhere. I love
back
it.
and forth. My primary residence is Florida, but I'm both back and forth. And then we'll be doing a mastermind in Florida once a quarter as well. And that's going to be limited to about 15 people per state.
Wow.
And I'm going to teach them for a full day every quarter how to go out there, scale their business, be a better person, be a better man, be a better woman, and just go out there and be a better representative of the world. And then I also have my one-on-one coaching.
I love that. So make sure you do follow him. You want to give out your social media so
Yeah.
they can follow you?
So you could check me out on Instagram. That's my biggest platform. I'm on every platform, but my most active platform and where I connect and where you'll connect with me the most is going to be Instagram at Big Dan Official. Also, if you are interested in any of my coaching, my masterminds or anything, bigdcoaching.com. You could check that out. And that's it. Find me. Whatever you need. You have any questions, just hit me up. I'll give you an answer.
Simple. Thank you, Dan, for coming all the way here. Just real quick, before we go, what's one action someone should take when they listen to this at the end of this episode? One action that can change their life in the next 24 hours.
Well, cut all the bullshit, cut all the excuses, and just go after it. Like nothing is going to show up because you want it to show up. It's only going to show up if you put the work in to get it. So at the end of the day, like if it's something that you really want, something you really desire, something that you're really trying to do in your life, the only person who's going to do it is you, and you have to create that action.
Thank you so much. It was so happy for the team of 5 Stars to have you here. Thank you for watching one more episode. If you want to get to know him more, if you want real guidance to become a real entrepreneur, here you have it. He had his social medias. Thank you, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you.